Started. Hi, good evening to all of you. And it is going to be our JDBC that is called as the JDBC Day 6 class we are going to discuss, right? So happy new year to all of you. Wish you all very happy new year, because in 2018 this is our first class where we are, 2019 we are again meeting up in the first class of 2019, you can say, right? So like as 2nd Jan, so first yesterday I was not able to come live and we are not started the class, but yes, today now as I have started it, and then so let's see it, let's start the classes, and hope so this is going to be a very good year for you all, right? So any questions from last classes, anything? If you have, you can please ask. If you are getting any questions from the last classes, all of you can ask if any kind of questions you are having, and even inform to all others also that today onwards the advanced Java class like JDBC class and all, we have started it, because many of you can check your mail IDs also that we have started from today, right? So if any one of you are getting any questions, anything, any doubt on that, you can please ask whatever questions, whatever doubts you are having. Any questions? Any doubts? No questions? Okay. Fine. So in last class, what I was talking about and what we were discussing about, something type 4 driver we were discussing. What was that? That was the concept related to the type 4 driver concepts we were discussing. The type 4 drivers we were discussing in that case. Fine. And in the case of type 4 driver, it was there to interact with your, you can say this is your database, and with the database it was interacting by using the type 4 driver. Even we have seen some examples also by using this one here. Well, so we can talk about, this is your, let's say, your Java program, and whenever we are writing any kind of Java program, we are repeating certain steps to interact with the database, correct? Certain steps, and then again we are getting some response from the database. Here is, you can say, some requests you are making to the database, and request that too in the form of query submissions. You are submitting some query to the database, and after processing it, after processing the complete query, the result which is there is coming back to the database. Whatever the results are, results you are getting into that is the in the database you are getting. This is what the complete thing we were getting into this. But what was our question? The question was something like that: suppose in a program, or if we write some number of programs, so there are few steps which is common. There are few steps which is common across all the programs, across all the platforms. That corresponding one, whatever we are writing, is going to be common in all the programs, either loading the driver class, having the getting the connections. These all sort of things are going to be very, very common, and that we have seen. Those who haven't watched it, so please go through the last classes what we have seen. Second thing again is that if we are, and that too after that, that is the closing all the connections and all. We are closing all the sort of connection and all other sort of things we are doing. So even in all these things, what we are getting here is, in all these sort of things, some code duplication problem again and again we are getting into this. So in last class what I was talking about, and just now I'll be showing you the different way and methodology how we are going to. So what we will do, suppose here, suppose there could be n number of databases. Suppose we have certain number of databases here. What is that certain number of databases we may have? The database we may have, like, suppose here we are having one database. This is one database what we have. Another one is the another database we are having. So here is the database 1 we are writing, or in another form what you can write here is something called as the Oracle. You can write it here, Oracle, and let's say that is the MySQL. These two kinds of databases as such I have written here. One is the Oracle I have written, and second important one, what is that, is the MySQL. Fine. In this now, what we will do exactly, that suppose these all are the programs, these all are the, you can say that is the Java programs what we have. These all are the different kinds of programs we are having. Let's say program 1, program 2, program 3. Fine, it is now. These all different set of programs which is available here, and that I have written into this. These all different set of programs I have written. Is it okay? Now, here we are making one centralized class. What is that centralized class we are trying to make? The centralized class is something like, it is this one here. This is the centralized class which I am trying to make it out. So that is the JDBC util class I am doing here. JDBC util class I am giving the name. The same thing I will write in the program, and that I will be showing to you also. Fine? Okay. When we are writing this JDBC util program or JDBC util class, whenever I am defining, so in that first one, we are writing one method which is the get the, which one now? Oracle connection, which returns to the type of connection. We will discuss again. One another method you are writing in this is connection, again return type, and that is the get MySQL connection you are writing into this. So one is get Oracle connection, and the second one what we are writing is the get MySQL connections we are writing here. Fine. When these both options we are writing something into this here. So see here, the program 1 what we are writing, the program 1 whatever we are writing here is this program is calling which one now? See, JDBC util dot get connection. So at any point of time, now see, this particular one, this particular program 1, either 2 or any program, need not to write the basic connection code which we were writing in the every case. Some steps what we were repeating it, we need not to write it in the every case. So what we can do here, that is the JDBC util dot get Oracle connection we are writing here. So this is going to interact with this one. Now in order to establish the connection, what all different kinds of or different code and all other sort of things are required, that is you are going to write it inside this. So this is going to interact with the Oracle, or if it is there, that will interact with the MySQL. Fine it is. If like that, these all programs which is there needs the connection with the MySQL or Oracle. So whichever connections they need, what they will do is they will immediately call some whatever the method, corresponding methods you are defining, depending on the database. Then particularly it will call that corresponding method from here and it will establish the connection. Are you getting it? So this is one centralized class. We are going to write it inside our program, so that what will happen, that every time if you just wanted to establish the connection, immediately what you will do is you will call this method, you will get the connection. Now this is one repeated task we were doing in all of them we were doing this task repeatedly. Is that okay? Now after that, what we have to do is, that also you should understand, what is the next thing we are going to do here in this? That second task, see, first task was establishing the connection. That was the first one. The second task which is there is the cleanup of resources. We wanted to clean all these resources, or we wanted to close all the connections. We wanted to close all these connections, whatever we are writing here inside this. We just want to close all these connections inside the database, whatever we were writing it. Fine. So for that, one more method we can write, that is the cleanup method. Cleanup method we can write, and the resources what you are trying to clean, you need not to write the complete code. One particular kind of code we will be writing there, and the same thing we can just call it from here. That all kinds of thing we will be calling from here, this corresponding program, and that is going to interact with that corresponding database tools, or it is going to close all these connections, whatever you are trying to establish with this database. Hope you are getting my point. Any questions to anyone in this? So now this is what I am trying to implement it. Okay, before that, before starting writing any example, if you are getting any questions, you can please ask. If you have any questions in this, you can please ask in that. Any questions? No questions. Good. Now mostly you are not having any questions in this. So did you practice all these things, all of you? Those whoever is attending the JDBC, most probably you would have done it, and if not, then it's okay. If yes, then also it is okay, but you should practice it. Now let's come to let's write one more program here in this, and then basis of that we will be discussing what all the basic things which is there, how we are going to write the program, and the n number of other things, whatever is there into that, right? So let's go to the program. Okay. See, I am opening this Eclipse for you. This is the Eclipse what I have written here into this, and for you I am just writing one program here. This is for you, I am writing one program for this. So the very first one, now I am writing one class into this called as the JDBC util, and JDBC util class here we are writing it, and in the JDBC util class we just want to write the many other things into this. Here is the JDBC util class I am writing. Fine. Let's see what is that I am going to write in the JDBC util class. So the very first thing is, inside this public. We need from connection from this corresponding methods, whatever methods we are defining inside the JDBC util class. From this particular class, we need what we need. We need connections. So I am just writing the connection of get Oracle connection into this. I have written here the connection of public connection of get Oracle connection, something like that we are writing inside this. Well, again in the next case here, I'll write connection of get MySQL connection into this. I am going to write. So here I have written the MySQL connection into this. Is it okay? Now after writing this both of the things here, and more importantly, I am going to write this particular class as in static. Hope you are all able to see here. Here is the class you have written, that is the static one. Well, I am writing here connection of con is equal to null, and lastly it is going to return what? Something called as the con. And in the same manner here, connection of con is equal to something called as the null. I am going to write, and return of something called as the con we have written here. Fine, it is. So in these all different corresponding formats, as such I am writing this particular class. So con is equal to null I am writing, and after writing the con is equal to null, again I am just, oh, okay, well I have written something like this here. So this is what the different things which we are writing. Well, again in this case here, I am writing, what is that now? That is driver, I am writing here class dot for name, and when I am writing the class dot for name, when I am trying to define the class dot for name, so here that particular class name you must have to provide whichever database you are trying to use, and depending on the what is the type of driver you are going to use. So here let's say I am using the which one now? I am just going to write these 2 lines over here in this. So in the JDBC util class, well, I am writing this program here. I am writing this particular program into this. If you will see here, so the first what I am doing is that loading the driver class, and second one is establishing the connection with that corresponding database. Okay, and why it is giving error, let's see that. Okay, so all that case I'll write here the try with catch here. Inside this case now I am writing exception of E and E dot print stack trace I am writing inside this. Well, this is one basic code I have written. I hope you would have understand now. And now if I'll ask you to write the same thing for which one now? In the case of Oracle. So can you write it? Yes. You need to, again, what you have to do now? Step 1, load the driver class for MySQL. Load the driver class for MySQL, you need to write it here. The second point here is, first one what I have written, load the driver class for the MySQL, and the second important thing, whatever as such I am going to write here is, that also you should understand, and that also I will tell you what you have to write it in these cases here. So if I talk about this, so here you just write here driver manager dot get connection, something like this you are going to write here inside this. So this is how and what all the different sort of things you are going to write it inside this case, correct? So here what you have written, first you have written for the Oracle one, and the second one what you have written for the MySQL one you have written. right? So this is what the MySQL one as well as the Oracle one you have written into this. Fine. This is the two options you have written. Now you see, at the same time, now I am writing some cleanup code also, closing the connections also as I am trying to write it inside this. So let's write here, or public void cleanup. In this now, connection of con I am writing, and here is the statement of st I am going to write. So public void cleanup of connection of con I have written, and then again I am writing that is the st of statement of st something I am writing. In the meanwhile, now I am writing another one also, which is called as the result set. This is the result set what I have written into this. So one is the Oracle connection, second one is the MySQL connection, and again I am writing that is the cleanup code. So which is the connection of con and the statement of st we are writing. And one more cleanup, this is the same method I have overloaded here, and this I have overloaded with the connection statement and result set. In case if we need anything, we can override it with all that. Fine. Here I am writing it if con is not equal to, let's say, null. So I am writing here con dot close this connection. Well, again if I am writing st is not equal to null, so here what is next I am going to write now? St dot close the connection I am writing, and well, in these both cases, here we are writing something. We are writing here. So that's what something we have written here inside this. And again, here again inside this, I'll write here if rs is not equal to null into this case. So well, now I'll be closing the rs dot close here. This is how I am going to write these all different kinds of things. Here, see that. So this is what the complete code I have written. This is what I was talking about, the third party class. Now you see here in this code, the code which already you have just gone through that. This program you have already just gone through in all these things, right? So whenever you have just gone through these all different kinds of code and all other things, so we just need to understand few more things here inside this. What is that few more things we need to understand? What is this code as I am just going to write here is that I am removing it, and you say here first, the JDBC util code where it is available inside the com.jtc.jdbc util class, it is available here. So I am writing here, what is that now? JDBC, something called as the util dot get Oracle connection I am writing, and I'll just removed it. So con is equal to JDBC util dot get Oracle connection. You see the get Oracle connection, what I have written here is just a static method, so I can access it by the name of class. That's what I am doing it here. It is loading the driver class, it is establishing the connection, and then in this case I am calling here JDBC util dot. So see the code what I was writing repeatedly, at least that basic problem one we have solved it in this. And here, so the JDBC util dot get Oracle connection we have written, some processings we are writing at here. I am closing all this connection. So see, most of the resources which is there, we are using it again and again. So if in case I am using all these resources again and again, so what I can do is I have just removed it. And here what I will do is, let's write the finally block, and inside the finally block you do one thing. I am just using, that is the JDBC util dot. I am writing here the method, and one second, what is the method name? I am just writing it here, public. So let's make it this cleanup method as an static method. I am going to write here. Here is the, this is the static method I have written inside this. When I have written this static method, so inside this now I am writing, what is that now? Cleanup of con and statement of st. We have written something in this form, and since I have written all these things, so well I am trying to write here something. See that here. It is giving something java.lang.null pointer exception, where it is giving that we can see here. It's in JDBC util dot get connection. We'll see here where is the JDBC util dot get connection. We are trying to get it and load it. Con. Okay. Null pointer exception. So at which line it is giving? Do one thing. Let's put one one statement I am just writing here. So testing I have written here. Okay. One more thing we are doing here. I'll write here some more thing also. What is that? Just let me check here. See, if you are getting something like this, so you can write these all statements here. Oracle connections as I am writing here. When I am writing these all different types of Oracle connection inside this. So something like that. See, Oracle connection we are getting it here, which means that the statement where we are getting, one second. Where have I written? Oracle connection we are getting this also. Fine. Okay. This particular one as such is the Oracle connection. Well, which method as I am calling in this? You can see the get Oracle method I have written. Well, I am running it. Let's write the current. Here we'll see the output, what output it is giving. Okay, testing one, here also the output is coming here. Fine. Now the st.execute query. Okay. Now you see here. Where exactly now problem is here? See, from where did we got this statement? Fine. At this time, so st dot I am writing here, that is the st is equal to, I'll write here con dot, and in this case that is the create statement I must have to write it here. Fine. Then only we are creating the statement type. This line we are going to write, so we will get the create statement type object. And now I am running this program once again. See, now it is fine here. Is it working? Okay. So why it was giving the null pointer exception? Did you understand it? Null pointer exception was because inside the statement it is expecting something, it is expecting some value, and that corresponding value is not available inside that. And since that corresponding value is not available inside this, then you can add all these things inside this, right? It is. So then only you can write it something inside this, then only you can add it on these things inside this here. That is what we will be calling it as an connection here. Is it clear now? Is that you are okay with that? All these things. Fine. Okay. There are some questions as that I will answer to you here. The question number 1, what you have asked is, sir, what clear the resources means? If not, then close, then all the resources, what will happen? Okay. See, it's like, see, at present, all these resources, whatever we are using here, at present, in this corresponding current API, whatever these resources we are using here, these all are the implementer of auto-closable interface. This all whatever we are using here is the implementation of auto-closable interface here. Auto-closable interface we have already discussed in the case of core Java, right? That what is the auto-closable interface. So in case of auto-closable is one interface here. This is the auto-closable interface what we have. And based on this auto-closable interface we are working something. So in that close method is available. So better it's always to clone it, because that resource again, same thing what connection you have established, somebody else can maybe using it here. So that's the reason you should close these resources whatever you are creating it in the starting here. Is it okay? Okay, so any other question in this? So till type 4 driver, hope so we all are clear with that. Till type 4 driver means the types of drivers, types of driver, and program based on these drivers. We have seen it. We have also discussed about the another kind of, that is the type 4 driver by using both, using MySQL, and the second one is the Oracle. These both things we have seen. Also we have seen like a common resources, like common line of code, common piece of code what we were writing again and again in both of the cases. So that is which we can solve it by using this. So we have written here the JDBC, that is the util class. This JDBC util class as that I have written. In this now, whichever, so hope you understand the concept of this. So in that, creating the connection as well, what next I am talking about? Closing the resources. That also we have seen it inside this is here. So this is what we have seen in the case of type 4 driver, or this is what till now we have seen. Now in the next class, that is tomorrow onwards, we will be starting up with the a few more concepts are there. One which is there, how to write your own or how to create your own custom driver, that is how to create custom driver class, how to create custom driver class, how we can create our own driver, sorry, not custom driver class, how to create custom driver, that we will see. and then after we are going to talk about what next we are going to discuss here, or what next we are going to talk about is one is creating the custom driver class, one I can say, and after creating the driver class, next it's something like a topic called as statement we will be discussing. What is coming under the statement? In the statement many things will be coming. First, statement. Second one, prepared statement. Prepared statement. And the third option what I will be writing here is the callable statement. Callable statement. So we will again be discussing on these all things tomorrow onwards. Is it okay? Any other questions? Anything else? You can please ask. Any kind of questions, any doubts is there, you can please ask. No questions? In weekend, on weekends, that is Saturday and Sunday morning 9:30 to 12, I have already started the Hibernate class. I have started the Hibernate class. So all of you, those who are not coming on the weekends for the classes, it is information for you all that whoever wants to attend the Hibernate class, they can come on this 9:30 to 12 o'clock. Hibernate class is going on. Framework class has been started here. Those whoever wants to come, because that all things will not be there in the online, right? We will not be discussing here. That will be there only in the classroom training. Okay. So those whoever wants to attend, you can please come and attend your classes. Any other questions? Anyone wants to ask anything? You can please ask. Anything? Okay, thank you.